There are a lot of reports regarding LeBron James, whether or not he would beat the living crap out of Kyrie Irving. Which I can't say seriously.
Got hostile real quick.
It did. It went from LeBron is eager to trade Kyrie Irving to LeBron James a la Wayne Brady, a la Dave Chappelle's. Yeah. Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch? That's what LeBron wants to do to Kyrie. According to reports of sources from Stephen A. Smith, whose sources have told him that if he, what was the line? If they saw him?
If he was in front of him, he would, quote, beat his ass, unquote. This is Stephen A. Smith's quotes.
I'm sorry.
Or sources, sorry. Sources.
We talk about Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher, or are we talking about LeBron James and Kyrie Irving? Because
I mean, that's not even the same weight class.
No, not even. It's not fair at all. But granted, I think I'm on Matt Barnes' side at this point.
Really?
Originally, I wasn't.
As a Knicks fan, you're on Matt Barnes' side?
Yeah, like I don't think Derek Fisher wanted to be coach of the Knicks.
Derek Fisher's
I think he was kind of just like Phil was like,
Fisher's got some hands, I bet.
Yeah, it probably does. It probably does. Yeah, but like he does some shady, like sleeping with Matt Barnes' like ex and then marrying her.
True. And then what did he steal his like ex-wife's car, right?
Yeah,
that was the DUI.
But I always hope, because she's a parent, I was hoping it's a minivan. Oh, that's what goes on in my head. I was just like, I wonder if it's like a Dodge Caravan.
Derek Fisher driving a minivan.
Using like the expressway to
go into the club in the minivan.
Sun passed down the 405. So no, LeBron does not want to in fact beat the crap out of Kyrie Irving. He might be a little upset with Kyrie Irving. He might feel a little blindsided by the trade request, but please don't believe the reports that LeBron wants to beat the crap out of him. And the other Cavaliers news, by the way, is that former MVP Derrick Rose, $2.1 million contract.
Yep.
Rick had a different take on Derrick Rose. He was, urging the Cavs to not sign him. But the only thing, I don't think Derrick Rose is all that valuable to any team at this point anymore. But for $2.1 million, there's some value there for the price.
Yeah. No,
yes. What do you have? He had 18 points per game last season. He played in 64 games. He shot 47% from the floor. He does not have a three. He shot about 20% from three, which is brutal, 21%. The thing that I'm concerned about with the Derrick Rose signing was it's not like their backup point guard is this young blood coming in to really help. And that's if there's no trade just yet.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Kyrie Irving isn't on the Cavs at the beginning of next season. So maybe an Eric Bledsoe does come through, which the more you think about that, you go, well, defensively, Eric Bledsoe is better than Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose, and Jose Calderon combined.
Oh, yeah.
So that maybe there is some value in moving for that type of player, because you'd also be getting maybe a pick or Josh Jackson or whatever else from the Suns if they happen to be the partner for this trade.
Yeah.
Right.
Which we discussed yesterday. Possible trade partners.
Possible trade partners. Yeah. We did a 3. It does seem like the Knicks are starting to fall by the wayside, though.
Yeah, it's just Melo. I don't think he's particularly fond of going to that situation in Cleveland. Person. In the land.
In the land. I don't think Melo wants to defend the land, because it seems like there might not be a land to defend in about a year.
And everybody's going to leave.
I think we have, and everyone's going to leave. Even though, here's the thing, you'll know it's bad if Jose Calderon in like February is like, I demand a trade.
Yeah, jeez.
Back to Spain. Send me back home.
And like you said, if Kyrie was still on this team, I would be. This would have been like one of the best moves that the Cavs could have done, is bring in Derrick Rose for 1 year
as a bench
guy, the backup to score.
To play like what? To play 12, 15 minutes a game?
Exactly, yeah. And like you said, he can still, he averaged 18, and he didn't play a ton of minutes for the Knicks. I mean, they were pretty moderate, as to obviously with his injury concerns, but from a basketball standpoint, Derrick Rose and LeBron, that's going to be an if he is the starting point guard. I'm assuming, if, like we said, if Kyrie's get traded,
so it's not like Calderon's getting the call.
Exactly, and then you have Calderon coming off the bench who can shoot, but he's not a very capable defender. So Derrick Rose, the guy can still hoop a little bit, but him and LeBron, it might be tough to mesh, because LeBron needs that point guard that can just spot up and play some defense, like the Norris Coles and those guys.
I agree with that.
When you're on the Heat team, those are perfect.
Norris Cole's a very good reference there.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Derrick Rose passed his physical, which I think if you're any team, you would hold your breath.
Yeah.
Because they have to look through that. Look, so have you ever played the game Skate?
Yes.
Do you know when they have the scenes after, if you fall, there's like they show you in the bottom right?
When the body rolls.
The body rolls, but in the bottom right, it shows you what's broken. I feel like like the physical pops up for Derrick Rose and the doctor just like looks in the bottom right, it just goes, well, you pass, but we're gonna have to put a lot of Band-Aids on.
It's like those charts in 2K that they bring up.
Right.
It has like Derrick Rose's knees are both red, his shoulders, like his whole body.
I gotta say,
like
the newest best 2K related meme is they used Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they do hold on, let me fix that for you 2K, and there's a loyalty rating, and they just drop it from 90 to 0. They did it with Kevin Durant, they did it with Kyrie Irving. I thought that was really fun.
That was funny, yeah. That was creative.
So LeBron, by the way, has responded to a lot of these reports. So get back to LeBron. So Derrick Rose, for $2.1 million, it's not a terrible signing. For anything more than that, would have been really questionable. And don't forget,
he probably could have gotten more on the market, right? I mean, Lakers were looking at him.
Do you remember what he wanted? Do you remember about 6 months ago where he was talking to Ian Begley of the New York Post and New York Daily News? No, he said he wanted a similar contract to what Mike Conley got. He said that's what he was striving for, which, by the way, is not a wrong thing for Derrick Rose to necessarily say. It's just, it's insane to believe that you would even get close to $153 million.
Even with as good of a season as he had.
Right, and even for 1 year. I think anything under $8 million for 1 year of Derrick Rose is, I take that back, $6 million for Derrick Rose is justifiable as a 15 to 20 at most minutes per game, 15 minutes preferably per game player. I think anything more than that and you could get the same value.
He's a good guy to have in the locker room. And this could be a case of like,
if he shows up to the locker room.
It's true, he doesn't go AWOL or whatever. It could be another case of LeBron bringing another player under his wing like he did with JR and so many players and changes him. He could change him into a great player.
That's a good point. I agree with a lot. That's a lot. Just how much of the LeBron babysitting could they put up with? Because Derrick Rose has not played for a functional organization ever. When the Bulls started to, Tibbs eventually leaves, and we started to see some of the issues with Bulls management and Jimmy Beef and all that kind of stuff. And then he goes to the Knicks, which you could say is even more dysfunctional. And he's about to enter, unfortunately for a lot of players, what is a media shitstorm. And that's what's going on with the Cavs. So I wonder what would have happened if Derrick Rose ever played or still ever plays, because believe it or not, he's only 19 years old after all of these mileage and years that he's had in his body. It's pretty remarkable. I think he's actually 27.
Yeah, something like that.
That's absurd.
I love the, like you said, playing for the Knicks, and he got a question. I remember like in the middle of the season, he had a decent game. He probably had like 24 and whatever when Melo was hurt. And a reporter asked him, they said, so, you're playing well. Do you still have concerns about, someday getting injured, coming down bad? And he's just like, look, like the question shouldn't be if I'm scared or if I'm gonna get hurt. It should be if I can hoop. And I can hoop. And he's just like, that's what Derrick Rose is. He's just a baller.
That's true.
Wants to go out and play, compete for a title. So, hey, get to play with LeBron and Love. Why not?
We think.
Hopefully. Maybe.
For all we know, in like a week, he's gonna be playing with Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith. And all of a sudden, we're gonna be going, whoa. Okay, that took a downturn. No, I think you're right about the LeBron thing. I think you're right about $2.1 million being a good contract. And we'll see what happens.
The joke came, what's in Cleveland? And now his former teammate, DRose, joining Cleveland.
Joining Cleveland. What's in Cleveland? Yeah, it changes so quickly. By the way, LeBron says, hashtag not facts, people. Boo! Get into the source.
Yeah, with
about the
screaming.
LeBron James is sort of eager for Cleveland to trade Kyrie. He kept kind of tweeting out, he says he has the Meek Mill song. This is like very vintage LeBron.
Yeah.
I can very easily admit that LeBron James is cryptic in a way when it comes to social media. His influence is too strong, but you get that kind of leeway when you are LeBron James and you are responsible for heading to the Eastern Conference Finals for 7 straight years and winning the Eastern Conference Finals for 7 straight years.
Yep.
Who knows what happens next season? I don't think LeBron James is playing on the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2018. We've been over this a couple of times. And we'll see what happens. Kyrie Irving, though, is somebody who could be swapped. The more I think about it, the more it could potentially, if done right, and Mills, it's not Mills, I'm sorry, who did the Cavs just hire as their?
The assistant, Colby Atman, the GM.
Colby Atman, thank you. Mills is
Knicks
GM. He has to steady the ship somehow.
You got it.
But you have time. People don't think there's time.
You really gotta tame the situation.
You have 8 weeks, really. I think you have like 2 weeks to make some drastic decisions, and then you got to start focusing.
Because you want to settle everything,
absolutely
before training camp at least starts.
You
which
can't
is what,
head
in like
into
September or something. Training camp starts because they got preseason like October.
Yeah, well, preseason basketball. They play like 3 games. Does it count?
No.
Doesn't count.
You got to get the pieces.
I mean, last year the Bulls started 3-0 and were shooting 97% from three. That's not an actual number. They were shooting like 61% from three. And we're like, oh my God, it works. The experiment works. They might win the East. So who knows what happens? Comment in the section below. Is LeBron too much to handle, Zach? Zach sent me something about LeBron being the Walmart of
think about it.
The NBA.
Think about it.
Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose comes in,
drives down the local businesses, which is the team's young talent.
Yep.
Then in 3 to 5 years, when he's like, oh man, this is not working out. I got a bunch of old pieces. See ya. And then he leaves the team in disarray, like he did with the Cavs and he did with the Heat.
Builds another Walmart.
Exactly.
It's more like, to me, it reminds me of Whole Foods because it's a little more expensive, like South Park did.
That's not bad either.
South Park gets the Whole Foods and they have. What an amazing episode! All right, like, favorite, subscribe at ZCouts on the Twitter, and Jason Uber 91. We'll see you over there.